with kind of no result here at Potter's Bar really. Kingstonian were 1-0 down with about 20 minutes to go in somewhat torrential conditions, and the game got called off. Puddles all over the pitch, Lino not feeling safe running up and down his side. Hayden, what's your... Let's talk about the abandonment first. What's your reaction to that?
It's easy for me to say, but I honestly felt it was the right decision. You know, it looked to me as though the pitch was worse in our final third than anywhere else. And consequently, you know, we're trying to develop playing around the box. When Daniel Edgecay went through, if you remember the goal, the ball got stuck in the puddle. The ball got stuck in the puddle half a dozen times, probably more. And as soon as that happens, A, it's nothing to do with football, and B, there are safety issues. So, you know, I understand that Lee and Scott, who are really good people here, and Potter's Bar are disappointed. I thought they played very well. I didn't think that we were going to lose. But I think ultimately the referee has made the right decision. And for us, you know, when we're trying to achieve things this season, you know, how terrible would it have been if we look back on that 3 points has really cost us in a game where you can't pass the ball because the pitch is all blocked.
Did Jason's injury in the second half have anything to do with the conditions? I couldn't quite see how that had happened.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And in fairness, it was an accident. Jason, who I thought was really outstanding really today, his best game for Kingstonian. He's beat the guy, and the guy is, I think, connected with his knee, gone down, stood on his knee. So that was just unfortunate. No malice to it, but let's hope he's not too serious with Jason. I don't think it is.
Let's talk briefly about Daniel's miss. I thought Nyron's miss last week was about as bad as it gets, and I know that the conditions weren't great, but have you ever seen anyone miss anything quite like that Daniel did?
Well, as you know, Jay, I'm a big Chelsea supporter, and I saw Fernando Torres, who we bought for £15 million, do that regularly, so the answer unfortunately is yes. If you go through that passage of play, Daniel's movement was very good. Yeah. Initially the ball got stuck in the puddle because he's so quick, he retrieved it, and then look, he's going to score. Crazy miss. We've already pulled his leg in the dressing room that he's managed to achieve something that I never thought could be achieved, and that is a worse miss than what we saw from Nyron last week. But you know, he thankfully didn't matter. He was disappointed, but you know, this guy is so important to us. I think that he's murdered to play against. Tactically, he's doing a great job, and you know, I still would have backed him to a score.
What did you make of the performance today?
I thought in the second half it was really outstanding. When you come to places like this, in what was tough conditions throughout the game, the first half I thought we pretty much had control, and slowly now I'm seeing players like Koscielny have a really big influence on the team tactically of what I want. Reece Williamson didn't play today. The reason that he didn't play today, he's been sick all week in bed, so probably he was that impact player rather than the player that started. So we played in a little bit of a different shape to what we've normally been doing. I thought the players did well with that. I think there was one or two opportunities where we really could have been ahead, but I felt in the first half we were too susceptible to counter-attacks. Ultimately, that's what could have cost us. That was from our corner, something that we spoke about at half-time. We've got to look at that setup. And they had dangerous players on counter-attack. I thought Potter's Bar looked a good team, very lively, worked hard, great spirit. So, you know, that would have been disappointing to lose. But, you know, when I look at the team in the dressing room, there's a great personality in the team. There's a fantastic spirit. There's amazing desire, and there's a winning attitude. And if we had lost 1-0 today, which we could have, because there's 20 minutes to go, probably, I would have still said it was a great performance from the players, and a performance that will win many, many games. So it wouldn't have fazed me. But obviously, I'm pleased because the right decision has been made.
No Bryant in the squad today. I mean, Simon was playing at left back. What can you tell us about his absence?
Yeah, Brian, it's difficult for me to say too much, and I would ask everybody to forgive me on that. But the fact is that, albeit under the confidentiality agreement that's been signed between the two clubs, I'm not allowed to say much, but I think that Brian will sign for a Premier League football club within the next 10 days.
Okay.
And the agreement that we have with the club, who have been tremendous to work with, and have offered, have gone above and beyond to look after Kingstonian, let's say that. The agreement is that we now give them 7 to 10 days clearly for Brian to train with the under-23s, play for them. So anybody that's got a close eye out, I will find that out, but unfortunately I'm not allowed to say. And then I fully expect Brian to be a Premier League footballer in 7 days.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. And what I can tell the supporters is, you know, Brian is a player that's done incredibly well. This is a guy that was Hamworth Villa. He's made a huge impact. I can tell everybody that there have been in the last week half a dozen inquiries, all from Premier League clubs wanting him. A deal in principle has been completed now for one club, but the good news is that I'm hoping and expecting a new left back, to be with us at Enfield on Tuesday. I've made a 7-day approach. I've identified the player that I want. It's a player that I like. It's a player that knows me very well. That's important, because you know how important the fullbacks are to us. And I expect him to make his debut at Enfield.
Great. Well, we'll see you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. Thank you.